Good morning. Good morning. So we are sitting today. I see a couple of movers that I was looking at earlier. We got SPRC up 25%. We got Shot, which was, I believe, a mover from like a day ago or something. Nice little pop back up. Volume right now looking like around 3 million, right around 19% on the day. So I'm wondering what will be the mover before Thanksgiving, right? Shot had a move yesterday. Okay, it was a day ago. So yesterday, absolute rip from 456. And I believe this one was a grinder up. This one just wasn't like taking off. It was grinding for pretty much the whole day and then had some big moves down after getting up to those highs. SPRC, let's look at that one. Popped up from the 636 up here to the 788. So let me look at some of this news as well. SPRC. Good morning, Mike D. Let me grab this news report real quick. Where? Oh, I guess it's over here. Yeah. All right. So on the news down here, we got Spark signs a non-binding letter of intent to merge with leading vehicle importer company in Israel. Okay, so this is where I don't know if that's going to how that's going to affect their stock price and all that stuff. Let's continue to read. Market moving. It doesn't say exactly when it's going to be doing this though, or what are the terms of agreement, like the price, the purchasing price, and all of that. Spark will explore. Yeah, no further details on that. Let's go to the next one, which was WHL. Well, WHLR is pretty cheap. Um, around closed at 16 cents yesterday and is up to 21 cents. Not a huge move. Probably not something I would play with before Thanksgiving. Doesn't have any news on the day either. Let's go to Shot. What's their news for today? Shot just a continuation move from yesterday. No real news on today. PXMD not looking too hot either. All right. So yesterday I did take one trade. The trade that I took, and I had two things that I was really looking at. I was looking at this one, and let's jump over to the other chart. I was looking at this one, SIM, right here. This one, man, oh my goodness, it was a very unpredictable move on SIM. This was a biotech stock, and usually I didn't notice until after I looked at it that it was a biotech stock. But this move, I was like, wait a minute, this thing's moving really wonky. So this thing actually ended up diving and making this huge, and this is the hour chart right here, and making this huge indecision bar here. It jumped up here to $51 and instantly like down here to $43. I was like, bruh, no way. And if we look over here on the 15-minute chart, this is what it looked like here, right here. That candle right there, absolutely destroyed to the 43. And I was like, oh my goodness. But I didn't know what to do with that. I was like, well, I don't know. And then it popped right back up to 47 from 43. And I was like, well, that might be a late move right there. So I started looking for other things, which, with this being a biotech, I don't like taking biotechs anyway. But at the moment, I had just seen it pop up, and I really didn't get a chance to check the news or anything. I just saw it pop down, pop back up. But the other thing that I was watching yesterday was Dick's Sporting Goods. Good morning, Lori. Good morning, Mike. Let's see. When I see these rips, I just want a short. Yeah, I know, right? Um, but yeah, the other one that I was looking at was Dick's Sporting Goods, and Dick's has very good earnings, year over year. And I was wondering, I was like, okay, Dick's, let's see what you got, and let's jump over to the bigger time frame here. So on Dick's, we saw on the monthly chart has a nice uptrend coming here, and then it has this nice big month that it's been breaking over these previous resistance levels. I was like, let me see if I can get a little ride here on Dix and see if we can get back up to that 130 level. So I actually took the trade at 125. Um, and we'll look at where it went, but it's still green on the month. And I was trying to see if it was going to get any buying pressure. I pretty much put my stop at 120 and was like, hey, let's go. I'm not in a huge size, but I mean, I'm glad I'm not in a huge size because I would probably be sweating bullets. Um, but this was the daily chart from yesterday. It just came down here and stopped right above this 120 level. And then, today it had a little bit of a gap up. So came back up from this 121-ish level back up here to 122.80. And I want to see what it's going to do coming into the open. Doesn't have a whole lot of volume today, though. That's the only problem. I don't know if any kind of money is going to come in before Thanksgiving. So I'm thinking I'm not going to hold this thing, over Thanksgiving or anything like that. I'm probably going to cut it and just look for something else because, I mean, it's one trade, right? But over here on the 15-minute, I am still in the trade from yesterday. And this is where I was interested in. You can see my entries right here, 125.38. Well, there's a couple of entries here, but you can see the main ones, 125.38, right above that 125, and then 125.02, right up in here. And it just kind of faded on me into this level. And I thought it was going to get a nice little bounce out of here, bounced around in the level below this, and then kind of faded. But, I held it overnight. It did not break that 120 down that I was thinking that it was going to break down and stop me out. It actually flattened out right around the 120.21 and then got a little gap up this morning and has been trading around 122.75. I was looking for today that it would maybe retest this level. So this zone right here. Where is my drawing tool? This zone right here. Retest and see if we can't get through this. But yeah, kind of was a disappointing one yesterday. I know it wasn't the highest. It definitely wasn't the highest percent gainer. But it definitely moves a pretty nice range when it does move. So that's what I was interested in. And now we'll see what happens today with this zone. We have about 20 minutes to the bell. And the overall risk on this trade was around 200 bucks, like maybe 250, something like that. But right now it did come up a little bit. So I was down right at 200, but it was in the aftermarket. So my stop didn't get hit. And then this gap up off here. So now today I'm gonna see if it can hold over 121. I'm probably gonna make this my stop out point. Whoops. Probably gonna make this right here underneath this my stop out point if it wants to come down. If it wants to retest this level though, I'm looking for it to consolidate inside this level and move higher. And then I'll use this level as my next stop, which is 123. But by the end of the day, I'm probably going to end up closing this trade. But back over 123, I mean, I'm only down like, 100 bucks or less, 75 bucks or something. So just gonna see what it wants to do. This is a higher float and a higher market cap stock. So I was like, well, let's see what we got here. Let's give it a go. I like the 125 level and just want to see it kind of get some buying out of there. But if it doesn't work, I'm okay with cutting it. Especially if it gets up here, struggles, and just absolutely plummets from this this level here of the 124. Anyway, back over to the other stuff that is actually moving on today. Lori says I don't like anything today. Yeah, I was actually watching The Spy. Let's go jump over to The Spy. Actually, two things that I was watching. Oil absolutely collapsing. I'm so glad I sold my oil stuff. I sold my oil stuff right up here around this 178-ish level in profit. And because my idea was I was thinking, okay, this thing I want to see it go and make a, let me come over here. I want to see it hold the 75s, which it did, came up here, tested 77, tested 77, tested 77, tested 77. And so I was like, ooh, I don't know about this. So on the next test, I went ahead and got out of it, and it looked like it was going to continue to break, but it just took too long. I mean, it just was doing too much. Actually, let me go back. This isn't the daily chart. Let me show y'all. It looks like what the daily chart was looking like, but on the monthly, this is where I was. Okay, okay. I'm on the wrong chart. I was looking, I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't look right. All right, but here on the monthly chart, came down here, held 75. You can see my old line that I had right around at 75, looking for it to hold. Got up here all the way to the 90s, continued to test, and then it closed that month and started to get back into the body. And I really didn't sell until it came back to like 88. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take what I got. And I ran with it. Cause I was like, cause energy is one of those things. It's so finicky, especially with the war coming through and all of those news reports. I was like, it's a lot of oil in the Middle East. It's a lot of, thing we depend a lot on the Middle East for energy products. And so I was like, I don't know if I want to be holding this thing into any kind of major news reporting. So yeah, glad I sold that one. And now it's back down to 75 or under 75. The other one, Mike D says, I have AI and Beam. AI and Beam. Oh yeah, AI. I've been seeing a lot of reports about AI. And I also saw Beam last week when it was making which move was it? I think it was this move from the 25 to the 27 I saw. Um, but looking at the monthly and everything, it's coming off that bottom a little bit. It is coming off of that bottom. Okay. So yeah, definitely look off on that monthly. I wonder, can it do another one of these moves up? Because this thing has returned to 80 a couple of times. Even though it gapped down, it does have a history of coming from like the 20s and going to 80s, 90s. Coming from the 20s going up to the 80s, 90s. So I don't know what makes it do those rips exactly, but something, history repeats itself. So, and I don't know how long it'll take for it to do that, but looks like, let's count it up. Let's see. This one went from 2000 up to 2005, so about 5 years there on that investment, and then from 2009 up to 2013, so about 5 more years, and then another one here. So we're at the bottom right now. So I don't know. History repeats itself. So there may be something good on Beam. Let's look at AI. AI, I have been seeing news reports about it. 23. So this is the monthly chart. We've seen it got beat down in here. Then it came up from the 11 up to the 34, back down to 17, up to the 49, back down. I don't know exactly, there's not a whole lot of history. We'll see if this thing wants to continue to hold up 20. But yeah, nice movers overall. Nice movers overall. Let's see. Somebody just emailed me. What did they email me? Okay. Things I don't really want to look at right now. All right, but yeah, I mean, today I don't really expect a whole lot from the market. I mean, people are off for Thanksgiving break. I'm just here pretty much to exit this position from Dick's Sporting Goods if I need to. If it wants to find some kind of slow buying throughout the day, cool. It is positive on the day, and I'm just looking for. Yeah, I'm not answering that. I'm looking for some resolution above 120, but I don't know if it's gonna happen. But I am very willing to cut it because I want to be ready for next week. But yeah, I think this was one of those trades where I missed Sim, and well, I don't even know if I missed Sim because I don't like biotechs. If I just jumped into Sim on that dip without doing any research, I would have felt stupid. Um, but then DKS came through and I was like, man, this thing looks good. It's dropped like almost 10, 8, $9 with good earnings. So why is this thing down? And I do know that there is a Fed's talk coming up. I believe I think it's today. Let me flip it up. Fed talk. I believe, is it today? Let's see, January, February, news and events. Okay, Fed Reserve Board announces approval of application. We don't care. Issues enforcement action. Federal Reserve Board issues enforcement action. That was on yesterday. Minutes of the Federal Open Market. Blah blah blah. Reserve announces pricing effective on January 2nd. But I'm not seeing anything for today, so I don't know. Maybe it's not going to be any kind of releases. Look at Sim, man. Just being crazy over here, just continuing to look beautiful on the larger time frames here. Mm, mm, mm. Anyway, looks like it's going to try and break this 50, or it's over the 52 already. High of yesterday was 52.71. And it is now one thing that I do notice is on the weekly chart. This is a area that has been tested multiple times with failure. So 153.30, 153.81, and 153.30 coming into this big resistance zone around here, and we can see this candle up to 64 that got hit another time. So we don't know. Maybe this will be something that actually breaks through that level and continues bullish, or it may actually find some strong resistance up here on this level. Mike D says RIPS equal only news and insider trading. LLY may acquire Beam. Yep. That's what it was. LLY. LLY. Well, this thing is almost off the chart going straight up. Yep. That one. Hmm. I feel, sometimes I just think about if you were shorting this at any time, LLY, I mean, when do you even get any relief off of your short? Like, I mean, I feel like banks just closed out a whole lot of short positions over the years for this one. When did this move start? Like 2019 and just through 2020, just absolutely murdering every short. That's crazy. All right. Let's jump back over and see what we have over here. So WHLR coming down. Let's see if there's anything else popping up on the scan. WHLR was the biggest mover, but it's 20 cents, so whatever. It's supposed to die. SPRC, not even over 20% shot, making its way down as well. Made a pre-market high of 580. PXMD. Yeah, SPRC, man. Look at these dailies. Like it's always giving back profit on the hourly chart and on the 4 hour chart. I mean, just up, down, up, down, up, down. So you got to be quick on that one. Same kind of setup with PXMD. Let's look back here on WHLR. Yeah, it's got pretty much the same setup, giving back profit. Giving up that profit. All right, we got about 6 minutes to the bell. We're going to see what wants to transpire here in the morning. Also going to keep the SPY up here as well. Watch that thing, man. The SPY has been killing the game. Look up here up top. It reached up here to the 455s. This is the second time that it's come up here in the last couple of days to that 455 level. I'm wondering, will it go ahead and break that 455 or does it want to consolidate down? We see that it did find a little bit of resistance right here on the pre-market. But that 455, I mean, the market has been bullish coming into this winter season. Bullish. Current watch. So this is pretty much what's on my watch right now. Oh, Willer is a REIT. That's a real estate stock. That's trash. That is that cheap. Usually for my dividend investments, I don't invest in anything under $5 because it just seems like over $5 you find a little bit more consistency, a little bit more, you know, uh less variation from month to month, whatever the payout is. So less variation from month to month or quarter to quarter or year to year. Like sometimes with these cheap ones, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, we'll pay you 50 cents this month, and then for the rest of the month, you're getting paid 1 cent per share." So I do not like that. 3 minutes until the open though. SPCR, I'm thinking it's gonna end up getting the most. Well, it has 1 million shares traded right now, so it's gonna have to get this volume up. But Shot is the next one. So Shot with 4 million, PXMD, and once these kind of fail, we'll see what really wants to move on today if we're gonna get any moves on the day at all. But our top mover is a 21% mover right now, which is sad. Now there may be something cheaper in the penny stock world, um, but yeah, I don't know on the OTC market, but my scans don't show OTC. So Mike D says LLY is to the moon. They make my insulin. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Actually, if they actually during all of this war and stuff, they have to go and support after the recovery starts in Israel. I wonder will they support medical facilities with insulin over there, or do they already? I don't know. Same with Ukraine. Both of them are, people just out here making money, man. They just making money off of all of these collapses and then just waiting for the rebuild. That's it. Looking at the news on the spy. Let's see what the news on the spy says. We got about a minute 34 here. News on the spy. U.S. stocks set to rebound on NVIDIA. Q3 cheer. Durable goods orders. U.S. initial jobless claims 209,000 versus 225,000 estimated. 233 prior, so it's coming on down supposedly. Let's go and look at the Nasdaq NQ. The E-minis news. Sunday OPEC meeting delayed to November 30th. Durable goods orders tumble and show little sign of recovery. U.S. jobless claims drop to 5-week low. U.S. stock futures slightly firmer. Oil prices tumble. Yeah, we know. Too many skunks at the party. Bank of America strategist charts. Strategist charts S&P 500. Tesla is still hedge funds' favorite short after stocks saw heavy losses in October. All right, keep shorting Tesla. We've seen it happen before. Tesla, all they got to do is come out with a new wheel that talks. It's gonna fry everybody in the market. All right, we're about to come in the open 5 seconds, and we'll start off with let's start off with shot. See how they do. Shot on the open. Let's look at Dix as well. This is the one I'm trying to see if I want to get out of or not. It has this 121 bottom here that I'm probably going to end up putting a stop down here at. A hard stop if it starts to move up. A little bit of green there over the 122s, but I don't know what it wants to do. Can it retest this level? I don't know. We're just letting it play out. And my stop is all the way right here. So I had it right under the 120. But may end up moving that up. We'll see though. But right now it has come back down, filled this little gap here. We'll see if it gets buying, or it may just go ahead and stop me out. But I'm gonna let it play out. I don't like taking trades on the first 15 minutes anyway. Let the first 15 minutes play out. See if anybody gets interested. This thing has 45,000 shares traded, so it's got a little bit of trading to do. But yeah, I'm gonna let that rock out. As long as it stays above that 120. Shot breaking out over these pre-market highs, but still a lot of resistance up here around this $6. Well, I should have moved that up a little bit. $6 is, we'll see how that holds. Pushing up against the $6 level. Jump over to SPRC as well. This one was one of those that gives back profit a whole lot. So you got to be quick on this one if you're going to trade it. Little bit of resistance up here to the 813s, right above the 8s. Where are these other lines here? I guess probably not relevant. I don't know. Could be. PXMD. Not doing much either on that one. Shot hitting that $6 level, finding a little bit of resistance. 7 million shares traded on Shot. Wow, big kind of dump off of that 6 there. Whole dollar level resistance. $3 million shares traded on this first candle. And SPY ended up breaking this 455 we were looking at earlier, breaking straight through it, ripping to the 455.60s. Very bullish move through there again. Beam, Beam. That one, I don't know if that one even gets regular volume like that. Let's see. Dix came down, tested this 121 level. I want to see it get back into this level up here over this 123 on today. That'd be dope. We're definitely getting more and more trading. Needs to get to 100,000 shares so it can start hitting some scans. Back over 122.75-ish. AI throwing a nice indecision candle out here on the first 15 minutes. Jumped up to the 29, came back down here to the 28. Looking very bullish on the day. WHLR, I'm gonna go ahead and clean that one off. It's just dying. That was the REIT. Nobody wants an 18-cent REIT. I wonder, does it even pay a dividend? That would be so funny if it did. Let me see. There's no way it's paying a dividend. That dividend would be so low. Okay, it does not pay a dividend. Let me look and see if we see anything else. SPRC still acting up as well. Up, it's the largest mover on the day, up 27%. Oh, snap. Drop one. Okay, SPRC. Yeah. Oh, I forgot this one was the one that gives back profit all the time. That makes sense. Continue to fake out. PXMD looking like it wants to do a dollar break. How long has it been since it's been over the dollar? It has been what, 2 days? That is not a long time. So has been getting shorted down through the ground. Shot again has not made its way back up. Mag Capital, what's a realistic goal for you to make day trading here in 2 years? What's your goals? To be honest, day trading for me, I mean, a goal probably like, I mean, what I do now on my trades is like maybe $200-300. So I don't know, maybe a grand or something, you know. But I'm kind of split because I'm so diversified. Either way it goes, I want to consistently be building my, like, I don't know. This past year, I've diversified all the way across the board. Um, and Beam is looking like it wants to try to hold the 29s. But I've diversified so much, I don't really know. The more diversification that I do, the less risk that I need to take. So like for my dividends, when I'm making, for dividends, I'm making 1,000, 2,000 a month. I'm like, I like to just reduce risk. The more that I make day trading, the more I can put into other investments. So I use the money that I make here to go into safer stuff. So I'm not really looking to make, a million in a day or something like that. I don't really need it. I'm looking for pretty much the long term to use this capital to go towards something else long term. But yeah, goal, realistic goal, maybe 1,000, a little grand, a little grandiose. But we always say a day. So you don't find those setups every day. So I would say a goal per trade rather. A goal per trade is like 1,000, because you're not gonna find A+ setups every day. It's just not gonna happen. Because I was thinking about that, I was like, wait a minute, a day though. Now, per day right now with everything, with all the investments, it's you know probably around like 150 a day with everything that I've invested in. But I want to get this. PMXD did break over that dollar, looking like it's going up here. So whether I work or not, 150 coming in a day either way. I could just take the day off and be okay. And be okay. Oh, snap. The room that I need to access does have a port that I need. Currently in is on. Wait a minute, do I need to? No, I could just go straight in. Okay. So it's currently in. It has a port. I need to change the addressing. the same location. May be occupied now. Okay. Where am I? Shots 15% coming on down red. PXMD is looking like the top mover on the day for right now, but it's a super cheap one, very easy to get your socks fried. Mad Capital says, would I ever consider starting a hedge fund on your own or bank with traders you trust? Maybe. Cause man, the more time that I have, like the more that I make, the more time that I have to study, and like I can just look at things and be on a more long term perspective. I'm like, you know, I can look on down the road and be like, you know what, I wanna I wanna be able to make a passive income that is more than, wait, are they on, needs to be okay. I want to have a passive income that more than covers monthly expenses and trading expenses. So anything I lose, it just right back in the account. That's my main goal. It's to make my dividends an employee, right? To make my ownership an employee. Then, if I just got money to blow, I can risk a little bit more in the market because I mean it's coming right back. You never want to risk anything that you need though, right? Like if I lose $200, it's like, oh, okay. But if I lose, you know, 5K, 10K, I'm like, bro, come on, man. Yes, I can make it back, but it's just like putting a dent in the account. All right. PXMD up here over $1. Holding there a little bit, but this range, let's see, what's the ATR on this one? ATR is $1. ATR is $1 right now. Am I reading that right? This little cheap stock is doing $1? Yeah. Okay. That makes no sense. Um, but maybe it does. If we look back on these past days, maybe it does. Because every time it does do a rip, let's see, 238 all the way up to four something. And this would affect that average that ATR. So let's see, 10. So yeah, on these big rips, it's definitely doing a couple of dollars. But I don't know if today is going to be one of those ripping days, especially with it. Oh my goodness, SPY is all the way up to 456 after that breakout. Very very bullish. Um, PCR holding right above the $8 now. So hey, never know with SPCR. Oh, S relative volume. Let's look over here at some of the stats that I kind of looked through. So I kind of focus on, first of all, I want to know what kind of range is this thing gonna give. ATR on shot is 63 cents. Then we got $1. Of course, the SPY is moving 450. SPCR, AI, Dix is $4.09. Beam is $1.99. So the first thing I focus on is the range, right? If it's only giving 10 cents a range, it's like, how do you get a percentage of that? The percentage of that is like what, 1 cent, if if at all. I'd rather get a full dollar move, 50 cents, something like that. Second thing I look at is R vol. So relative volume, that's the actual volume on the day. How many multiples of normal volume is today? And then relative standard deviation, how many standard deviations away from the norm, like the outliers, is it away from the norm? So if you see 0 over here for your standard deviation, it's not even a full deviation out. So usually I'm looking for a standard deviation like of right around 1, at least 1 deviation out, to be a little bit abnormal. Once you get to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 deviations out, it gets real crazy. You just start seeing stuff just rip, just rip. It's like, okay, okay. But that standard deviation isn't really based on just the volume of the day. It's based on like past volume comparison and relative volume. So the regular relative volume calculation. So it can let you know if something weird is going on. If that standard deviation is super out, it's probably got some crazy volume incoming. All right, where we at? Where we at? So shot. Let's read a little bit of this. Rexcon says, like you, my favorite setup does not show up every day. However, yesterday it appeared 4 times. Yes, some of those, bro. I know. Yesterday, I just there were a few that I saw after I entered Dix, and I was like, no, but I just let them go, because I was like, whatever. I was like, just let it fly. It says appeared 4 times for 4 winners. You have helped me to be more patient and focused. Yep, appreciate that. Yeah, that's what we try to do, man. Think it through, let it play out. And that's one thing, a rule that I broke yesterday with Dix. One, usually I trade small caps. Dix is not a small cap. So, expecting a big move off of that, like really, really soon. I could have been kind of over zealous on that. So I guess there was a rule broken. But other than that, I just kind of let it play out and do what it does. I'm just like, I'm in there. Let's let it ride. It did not break down it did not break down the 120. So I was like, it's gonna take a lot of money to move it though. But by the end of today, I'm probably gonna close that position. If I take, like $100 loss or some 150, that's okay. It's a managed risk. The full risk that I had was $200, but um, if I lose that, I'm okay with that. Plus, I didn't want to go into Thanksgiving trading something and taking a huge loss, like $800, $900,000, $200. Think about it. So in the past 2 months, this is my first red trade in 2 months. So I'm like, yeah, it's whatever. My normal gain from a trade is from 200 to 400. Sometimes 500, depends on how sporadic it gets. But I broke a rule today, or I broke a rule yesterday. So it's one of those things. You break rules. Now I did have the risk managed, but everything was lined up. Usually with the trades I like, everything needs to be lined up. But anyway, PXMD showing a little bit more red above the 1. SPRC coming back down between. And that's another thing. When I first started, I think I was kind of drunk in the market, if that makes sense. Like, when I looked at the market, the pull to just be involved was ridiculously strong. And so, like, when I was looking through my statistics, I was like, am I making the decision to be involved, or am I being am I being enticed? Like, is it, but nobody's perfect, because I mean, I got enticed by dicks, no homo, sporting goods, and um I just took the trade. I was looking for it to ramp up. It did not do it. So, it went down like that. Let's see. Beam, beam. Dix came down, still did not knock me out. Only down 180. We'll see if it continues to hold. Now, this was the pre-market hold here. It's held here quite a bit. So 1 time, 2 time, 3 time. And I'm looking to make this, probably going to make this 121 my out. But just giving it time on the day. Down 173 right now. Just being patient. Like I said, I do not like to make rash decisions out of the open. I like to let the first little bit play out and then make the decision to like do whatever. Because if you sell at the open, I mean, you miss the whole day. Really. You never know what might happen. Could be something that works out. And that's why I don't buy at the open, because sometimes you get bait at the open doing that. Always give it a little time to show me the pattern on the day, because we're day trading, right? Want to see the pattern on the day. Shot. The shot end up coming down a little bit. Yeah, it came down under this 584. Mike D says I sold Nvidia last week, making me money today. Let me look at. Yeah. I saw your call out in the Discord in Nvidia. Nvidia absolutely collapse. Wait, why is this thing collapsing? What in the world? Oh my goodness. Wells Fargo maintains overweight on Nvidia, right? Raises price to target to 675. Well, they are absolutely looking wrong right now. Market Watch stocks open higher. Nvidia after Nvidia earnings, economic data. Nvidia beats. Uh, wait. Nvidia's big beats don't wow. But here's the good news for the stock. Okay. Morgan Stanley. Well, I already knew that Nvidia was overvalued, because you remember when I forgot what news came out on Nvidia, but it just started ripping. Or was it Activision? I think both of them had some kind of news. And or maybe they had a partnership, I forget. But they were ripping. And so, when stuff just goes up, and if we look over here on the monthly chart, when stuff goes up this much, look at this extension from 138 all the way up here, and this is in 1 year. So 130 all the way to the 400s. I just didn't expect earnings to be like, oh yeah, they're actually this valuable. They moved $300 in a year. So I don't know. That may have been your thought process as well. Um, on that trade, selling Nvidia, but yeah, definitely a good look. Anyway, I got about 6 minutes just sitting here. Looks like down 150, so this thing's getting up. I may just put a stop in here at 121 and come back later on in the day, kind of see where it stops. It looks like it wants to test up to this level. But let me see the risk down. If it breaks down 121.17, where it's tested here multiple times, or I guess just 121, let's see what that risk is here. So flip out my calculator. I entered at the 125 and 125.28, and that will be minus, oh boy, I can't type today, minus 121. And I probably put a flat, so 121, is that 121? Right around flat, 121 flat. That's about $4.28 on those 55 shares. So times 55, so that'll be $235. Do I want to risk that, or do I want to, because it's coming back into this gap that it created. We'll see if we get any buying, but I don't know. It may get held down under 22. I'm okay with 230 something dollars, but you know, if I can decrease some size, like put some limit orders up here in this area and actually get some sales out up here, probably be better to just reduce size that way and just walk out of the trade like little by little. So I believe that's what I'm gonna end up doing. Let's look up here. So this zone here, the previous level that was really a struggle point. Let me remove this drawing. Previous level we saw find some major kind of sell-off is right here at the 123.50. I would love to see it test that level. And once it's over that level, I'm going to be looking to probably take some off of that if it gets over 123.50 and move my stop up to that level as well. But that's based on what happened yesterday. Traded in here. I want to see a hold above that level first. The low, one of the lows from yesterday was 122.80. But yeah, just moving slow right now. Let it do its thing. It's got been trading for right around 30 minutes and not being too pushy with it. At least I'm up 41 bucks on the day, so I made a little bit back. But I just don't know if I want to just let it come back like heavily against me, because I can kill the loss by a lot, right, and save money. But anyway, that is pretty much the stream for today. I'm probably gonna come and see what this thing's doing later on today. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you're gonna continue to trade, definitely be careful, be safe before Thanksgiving, because man, we do not want to enter into Thanksgiving without being able to give thanks, right? Um, if you guys celebrate Thanksgiving, I know some people are in other places that don't really. It's like, oh, Thanksgiving, okay, that's cool. But over here in the States, it's Turkey Day coming up. Nice dressing and cranberry sauce and all of the amenities. But yeah, that is it for me today. Once again, appreciate you guys for your call outs, for kind of expressing some of your thought processes and how you go through your trades. And this is the same thing we do in Discord as well. After the streams, I believe that should have been dropped into the chat, maybe. I don't see it, but yeah, I can drop it real quick, I believe. Discord. Do I have the Discord up? Yeah, I got it up. Or I don't have it up. Okay. But I'll drop it into the chat. But yeah, I need to get on down the road, make some money today so I could be even more thankful on Thanksgiving tomorrow. I'm gonna drop it in the chat before I go off though. Because if I don't do that now, I'm gonna forget. I probably won't forget. I usually don't forget, but All right, there is the link. And usually we hang out in the trade analysis section. Pretty much anything that I see or something like that, I definitely make sure that y'all can see that before. And usually I do these callouts before I even look to enter. So I'm looking for levels and I'm like, hey, I'm interested in this level. If you see this level, tell me what you think. Am I stupid? Am I not? I'm cool. We joke around in there all the time. Donnell, Mike D's in there, a couple people. So hey, definitely come and be a part. But anyway, that is it for me today. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.